everybody, you join me on board in the MR2, and I've got some problems. It might have looked, when we saw it last, like a perfect car, almost concours condition, but in truth, it has some problems. Firstly, I am aware it has been quite some time since I drove an MR2, but I don't remember the handling being quite this bad. I move the wheel a fraction of an inch and we go flying off in that direction, or that direction. It's actually not particularly enjoyable to drive it at the moment because you have to concentrate so very hard on keeping it in a straight line, and anything above 50 miles an hour is actually quite terrifying. So I have just been trundling around these nice back roads, enjoying it, but going, something's not quite right. The other big problem is the bad noise it makes from the engine. There's a very loud, clattery, unhealthy engine near death noise, and I've been talking to some people about the Rev 3 engine, and a couple of people have told me that around 240,000 miles, the engines fall apart, and my car is just about to tick over 210,000. So that could be bad, and it does rather take away the enjoyment of driving it, the thought that any second now the engine might just die. Now, some of these problems are going to need a lot more work, like we're going to have to take the engine to bits to find out what's wrong with that. Luckily, I do have a spare engine. However, the steering issue and the horrible handling, that we can fix.
So that brings us to here, Talk Automotive, with our good friend Marco, who has done us many solid favours over the last year, 2 years? Don't know, we've known him some time and he's been good to us, and he likes working on Alphas and Peugeots and particularly crusty MR2s. I think that's a new favourite thing for him. But we're here because he's going to sort out the geo, because Jayemm tells me it's going to make it less likely that my MR2 to go into a tree again. Now, to actually explain a bit more how we're going to sort the geo, I'm going to turn you over to Jayemm.
So, in a nutshell, geometry is basically the alignment of your wheels in relation to the chassis. You have several parameters that are adjustable. They are caster, which is how far forward and back the front wheels sit in relation to everything else. Camber, that well-known one, which dictates whether the wheels will do this or this. And toe, which tells you whether the wheels do this or this. Now, not all cars have an easy way of adjusting all these things. But what Marco is going to do for us is to set up as many of them as we can in the best way possible. Getting the geometry done at relatively regular intervals will really, really help your car not just handle better, but also go easier on all of its components, because this affects things like tyre wear as well, because if those settings are wrong, you can have problems like the inside or the outside edge of your tyre wearing prematurely, and this can ultimately cost you a lot of money.
In the time it took Jayemm to explain how to do a geo, Marco actually did do a geo, which I suspect is a harder thing to do than to explain it. But the 2 is now done. Apparently the wheels are now aligned and it should go in a straight line. We hope. So we hope. Apparently the front end was a bit...
Toe. It was toe.
It was like that then. Toe.
Yeah.
I was going to go with swiftly. It was a bit swiftly, whereas now it's significantly better, and it was worth bringing it in. And my thoughts of earlier that it was a bit twitchy were justified. So the next thing is take it home and see if there's a difference, which I'm assured there will be, and then park it in the shed until spring comes. So that was really uneventful, guys, but the MR2 is progressing forward.
Difference that made! It's like driving a different car! This is like having my old car back. I can't even begin to explain the difference. It's so much nicer. It's so much more friendly. It doesn't feel like it's trying to kill me. And this is the MR2 that I remember. This is the MR2 that I love. Oh, it's amazing. Just the amount of difference a degree or half a degree can make to your steering and the whole feel of the car. I mean, it makes sense, obviously, doesn't it? If your wheels are doing that rather than actually going in a straight line, well, of course the car's not going to handle how it should. It makes sense, but it's amazing what a change in the car. It just feels so different. It's night and day. I'll be honest, I wasn't actually enjoying driving the MR2 around. I thought maybe it was just that I missed the car, you know, that it wasn't my decision that it wasn't around anymore. It was my fault, but it wasn't my decision. Maybe I was glorifying something that wasn't actually that good, or maybe they say that between Rev 1 and Rev 2 and 3, 4, 5, that the handling went. The Rev 1 is the car with the razor sharp handling, and Rev 2 and 3 all got softened down a bit to make them less likely to kill you. And I thought, well, maybe that's something to do with this. It's not got the nice handling or something. I didn't really understand, but this is the car I remember. This is amazing. This is so good. I'm so happy. So thank you to Marco, and thank you Talk Automotive, which is basically the same thing, but you've given me my car back. This is wonderful. This is just great. I mean, all I need to do now is sort out that horrible noise from the engine, and it will be wonderful again. And paint it, and fix the bodywork, and sort the audio. Yeah, once they're out of the way, it'll be fine. And anyone who hasn't had the geo done on their car, highly recommend getting your geo looked at, because a tiny adjustment will make a huge difference and make your car handle how it's meant to handle. So yeah, if you're anywhere near, go see Marco, get the alignment checked and the geo checked. It's very good. Also, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, leave a comment, tell me how awesome the MR2 is, and have a look in the shop, because we have shirts and things now. I mean, jumpers and stuff, and hats. And we like people having merch. So that's it, guys. That's a little update on the MR2, which is moving forward slowly. And the next thing will be, I think, try and get the engine sorted. Or maybe get the paint done, I don't know. One or other of these options will make itself apparent, and we'll do that. So, see you later, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it. And I'm going to enjoy my car. I just wish it made a better noise, or the less it's going to break noise.